What's up, guys? It's Virtual Beats coming at you live once again from the simulation. And in today's video, I'm gonna be exposing my vocal preset, what I use on my vocals. Are you guys ready? You guys ready? You sure? Well, here we go. Boom. This is what I use right here. There. You got all the sauce now. Now you can run away with it. No, but in all seriousness, this is what I use. I'm gonna be breaking down just everything. I'm gonna be breaking down how I get my mic and everything ready, set up to record. I'm gonna be breaking down what I use and how you can use it to fit your song genre, your voice, everything. And if we have time, I'll go over the mastering. But yeah, this is how I do stuff. I'm gonna go over it. I mainly want to do this because in the past, I did a video called Stop Buying Vocal Presets. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it above my head and in the description below. But this was an old video I did, and it's starting to blow up and get some views and traction on it. And I just got some hate comments. Some people delete them. Some people kept their hate comments up. But yeah, I just get comments of people saying that, oh, you're a hater on vocal presets because you don't have them. Oh, you're spreading misinformation on vocal presets. And in the video, you can watch it and see what I said. But I basically just, in summarizing it, I said that they're just trash. They don't teach you how to mix. They don't teach you how to become better with your voice. They don't help you in any way other than just giving you, this quick shortcut solution. But just because it's a shortcut doesn't necessarily mean it's good or anything. But that's just how business is. People are selling stuff that they feel like they need. People, if they feel like they need it and it can benefit them, they're gonna buy it. I'm just making this because I believe that all you guys should have good sounding music. I know that feeling when you have a song in your head and you just want to put it out and release it. And I just feel like everybody has that voice and everybody should put out good music. That's why I even started this channel in the first place and showed all my stuff. Had a lot of people saying, like, why do you want to show all your stuff? Why do you want to show them all the ways you mix? Like, you should just keep it to yourself. People are going to end up like, yeah, I had some friends in the past that take my methods and they try to sell them. And it's like, it's cool. Go ahead, do all that. Because at the end of the day, you can make good music, but there's all these other factors that, you have to take into account. You had to have good cover art. You had to have a good brand. You had to have all this good stuff. This music, getting it sounding good, I believe is just the first step. And then however you want to do it, like pay people to make your cover arts, pay people to make all this stuff, you can then approach it. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video. So I want to show you how I record first before I go ahead and get into that. So a quick way on how I record, let me show you real quick. So how I record is I'd put my mic right here in one, right? And I'll put it right here next to the beat on insert 2. And if you're wondering how I did this, how I moved it, you just click it, you hold Alt, and I'm pushing left on my keyboard, the left arrow key, you push right to go right. And I'll put it next to the beat in 1, my mic in 2. I'll route my mic to a different track. So let me route it to this. And we'll just clone this one over. So that way, and we're going to call this one, as soon as it loads, we're going to call this one Opti. We're just going to call it Opti. We'll call it optimized. If I spelled optimized right, hopefully, but I'm off of that Monster Energy drink, so we'll just hope for the best. But yeah, we'll call this one optimized. And what I do is I have my mic right here, my beat right here. Oh, just ignore these delays and everything. I start off like this. All right, let me grab all these. These don't even exist right now. Just don't even think about those. Okay, let those go over there. I'll have this one called Opti. And how I record and how I go into this stuff is I go switch to my interface, go to options, audio settings. And what I do is I switch to my interface. Let me do that right now. All right, so I'm in my interface. And what I do now is I go to my thing right here, my control panel, my ASIO panel. I pull it up and it looks like this. And I just change this number to where I get 3 milliseconds. And I did a video on this. If you want to check it out, I recommend that I go deep into this, but I'm just going to go quick over, just show you guys how I do stuff on how to get rid of latency. I'll link it above my head as well. But yeah, I just changed this number to 128, make whatever number it is to get me the 3 milliseconds. Then this number you need to pay attention to, because I've been using FL Studio for years and I didn't know I was recording wrong. Like, not wrong, but the best way possible. So this right here is the milliseconds. This is how you're going to have latency in your voice. To fix that, anything that you have on in your mixer track, which is this is your whole mixer channel right here. Anything that you have on is going to bring this number up. So if I turn these down, I'm already at 48, and this is a bypass button. It just mutes all the effects in that channel. I'm at 48 milliseconds. If I turn off the master, I'm at 5 milliseconds. So what I would do now is, I don't know, why is it, that's kind of weird. Let me see. That is so weird. It's normally doesn't. Oh, it's because it's not routed. Oh, there it goes. All right. So this right here is 745 milliseconds. That is a lot for one audio track. These audio tracks don't have nothing. This is a lot for one audio track. I want to go over this because this is everything I do. So this video might be long, but I just want to rip the band-aid off and show you how I do everything. This right here, this whole mixer track, if I were to record, I'm gonna have 745 milliseconds of latency. I used to think just because it's 3 milliseconds, I'm good. No, you're gonna have latency. Let me show you something real quick. This is something I covered in the other video too, but look, if I have auto-tune, right? And you see right here, 748 milliseconds. If I click this, oh, not that. If I click this and go to use low latency, it's checked. If I turn it off, I'm at 800 milliseconds. So some of your plugins have low latency settings, so you could use them. So for the auto tune, go ahead and do that. But I'm not using auto tune in this case, so I'm gonna delete it. But yeah, some of your plugins take up a lot of milliseconds. So what you want to do is you want to mute them when you record. You want to mute all the stuff that you're not using. I'm not using these. When you're recording, this number needs to be 10 or below. If you can get it 10, it's good. If you can get it lower than 10, it's even better. But 10 is the best spot. It's the sweet spot for having good recordings. When you step up to the mic and you rap, it's gonna sound real time. You're not gonna have your voice being played back late and it makes you stutter. Whenever you record music, you're always gonna have that thought in your mind that, like, I meet a lot of you guys that's like, oh, I can't record vocals. I'm struggling to record a song. It's either one, you're not feeling the beat. Two, the beat is not leveled properly, or three, you have latency, and because you have latency, you're not hearing yourself the best way possible, so you think that you suck. Some people have less latency than others. A lot of you guys have more. If I had this problem, and I've been doing this for years, I guarantee a lot of you guys have this problem as well. But yeah, I'm gonna just show you real quick. If you want to see the full video on latency, it's linked below in the description. But what I do is I gotta mute some stuff. Deep breath takes a lot, so look at this. We're at 745. If I take this off, we're at 11 now. Next, I need to take off one more. I'm gonna take off MV2. Now we're at 9 milliseconds. So these are all the ones I could turn off. These ones, if I turn these off, I'm good. It's the ones that I'm mute, I didn't need them, all right? I don't need those plugins. Then I could just leave it like this. This is optimized for recording. That's why I call it optimized. So now I can record. I could record like this. I won't have latency. I'm not going to record nothing now. I recorded stuff in the other video that's linked below. You could check it out. But yeah, I call this optimized. This is how I do it. I wrap into this optimized one. I route my mic so that way it doesn't go into this. And let me just show you something real quick. So I'm going to record something. So let me play the beat. And let me just mute everything. And I'm going to just record a song. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah, hey. All right, so that's something quick. Let me switch back to ASIO so you can hear me. All right, so here we go. Now you see when I double click this, it's on 2, and 2 is where I was recording. So now what I would do with this is I got a good recording. You can move it to 3 and hear how it sounds. But what I do is, let me show you the trick. Let me take all of these things that I moved right here, right? Let me take all of these And what I'm doing is I'm holding control. I'm clicking, holding control, and dragging over these. Alt left, I'm moving these over. And I put it next to the optimize right here. So what I do is, once I have this recording, and if I put it on 7, you'll see that it didn't record with effects on. Yeah. So what I do is I'll move it to 4, whatever number you want, wherever your thing is. And 4 is not optimized. This is not optimized for recording because it has everything on and everything ready to go. So when I play it on 4, it'll sound way better than what it sounded optimized. So optimized is optimized for recording. That's how I always do all my stuff, everything like that. That's the way I do it. When you're recording, switch it back and make sure that this, I'm not recording right now, it's on ASIO, but make sure this number is at 9 when you're recording. How do you get that number to 9? Let's repeat it again. We mute everything we're not using, only keep that mute effects off, all right? Even the master, everything. This is why I recommend don't record songs where you have your beat because you have latency. What I recommend doing is if you make a beat and you want to tweak it still while you're recording, export it in stems, then you can go ahead and do all the tweaking like that. So now that we got that out the way, now we can go ahead and break down the vocal chain. All right, so now that we have this ready to go, I'm in the mixing stage and I have everything ready. Then I got rid of the recording, the mic channel and the optimized channel because I'm just focusing on mixing. 3 right here, let me rename this so you can see. This is ad libs with delay. And this is just normal ad libs with no delay. Oh my God. Boom. So there we go. Ad libs delay, ad libs no delay. So how I go about this is for the beat, I never put nothing in the beat. If you gotta lower the beat, turn it down. It's, you know, you should buy the stems to your beat and go into it. I made the beat, I leveled it perfectly, so I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, for the main vocals, first thing I use is deep breath. Now what deep breath does is it gets rid of the, the ha, ha, ha breathing parts in your vocal. I had a lot of them in here, but let me just show you. Yeah, all right. I like to get, so you can hear like a little, like to get to, all right. Let me turn off the beat. All right. I like, you hear like a, so this just really just calms that down. All right. And you didn't even hear, to know you, so what can I do? You didn't even hear the ha, ha, ha. You didn't hear the ha, the breathing. This is optional. I just started using this because, friend showed me it and I liked what it did. Sometimes you want the breaths in there, sometimes you don't. But this is what I did because I kind of didn't want to go in here and, cut out everything. This just made it, more easy to do. But yeah, I deep breathed it. These are my deep breath settings. You could play around with these. Copy these, whatever. These you got to adjust though to, your own voice. But this is just to get the deep breath thing. I use an NS1. I'll start it at 15 and then I'll go higher, which I was at 31. This is just to get rid of that background noise. Let me show you real quick. Let me just mute everything so you can see. So without NS1, with NS1, just got rid of that background noise. That's what I use on all my stuff. SSL is an EQ. I use it a lot of the time. I don't really change anything. You can copy these settings if you want. I'll zoom into them. There you go. Boom. Pause the video right here. Copy these if you want. All I really move is this knob, sometimes this knob, but I mainly move this knob, this knob, this knob, and yeah, just 1, 2, 3, 4. These knobs, mainly this one and this one. But let me show you for those that don't understand what this is doing. So for you to understand, I need to pull up an EQ. All right, so let me break it down real quick. What this knob is doing right here is doing a high pass, not a low pass. Whoops, a high pass. Why is it? Okay. It's doing a high pass. You see that? It's a little bit of a sharper high pass, something like that. But yeah, moving this knob up, it's at 205. So moving that up is like moving it like this. It's like doing this, doing a sweep like this, right? This right here, high frequencies, is like doing something like this. High mid frequencies, I don't really mess with them. They're kind of set like around here somewhere. But this right here, low frequencies, is the same thing. It's like doing this. And yeah, that's basically what this is doing, you know, just in like a quick summary of it. Let me delete that. This is just EQing all the tones out of my vocals. So boom, let me go ahead and play it for you without.
Like to get to know you, so what can I do? Trying to slide, yeah, come and pick you up in my coupe. Got a lot of. Like to get to know you, so what can I do? Trying to slide, yeah, come and pick you up in my coupe. Got a lot of friends, but they nothing like you. You the fresh news, and I need an issue, huh?
So it cleans it up. And I do a second EQ. This is optional. You don't have to do this, but I just like to, you know, clean it up a little more. And this is the same thing. It just gets rid of a little more lows that made it through. And I just boost the highs. I like to, you know, use the SSL as one thing and then just go in. If I need a little more, I'll add another EQ. Sometimes I add this. What I do is I add this later. So I just keep it right there and I'll just move on. So how I did this was I don't directly go to another EQ first. I'll go here. And this compressor, easy to use. I play my vocal and I keep this knob at 40. I never move it. I just move this knob left and right to where this needle right here does not pass this -7. It stays in this box right here. So let me play it.
Like to get to know you, so what can I do? Trying to slide, yeah, come and pick you up in my coupe. Got a lot of friends, but they nothing like you. You the fresh news, and I need an issue. Like to get to know you, so what can I do? Trying to slide, yeah, come and pick you up in my coupe. Got a lot of friends, but they nothing like you. You the fresh news, and I need an issue.
So it jumped in the beginning. So what this does is just made it to where it doesn't go over. You can adjust it more. What I do is I turn the flat all the way to 100 and turn this analog, because this analog gives you like a little bit of static. But yeah, use that until I have it set up. Go into de-essing. For the de-esser, right here, 41.4. This is the frequency range. I just use the preset, Dave Pensado, his hook de-essing. You just go to load. Any of these Dave Pensado presets are good ones to start with, and then you can just adjust them. But if you want to copy this, go ahead, and this just gets rid of the S's.
Like to get to know you, so what can I do? Trying to slide, yeah. Like to get to know you, so what can I do? Trying to slide, yeah, come and pick you up in my coupe. Got a lot of friends.
Then I'll start adding effects. So I do the mixing with the beat off, and then I add the effects with the beat on. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you end at 6. You want to keep the vocals at 6. That's the sweet spot for vocals. Going over 6, you're clipping. Going under 6, you're way too quiet and not going to get heard. So I got this reverb right here. This is what I put on it. This is settings I messed around with. It's always different. But if you want to copy these settings on your reverb, go ahead and do it. This is what I use. This is how I have mine set. So it makes it sound like this.
To get to know you, so what can I do? Trying to slide, yeah, come and pick you up in my coupe.
And then I use CLA vocals. So what CLA vocals does is it makes it a little louder. This right here does low ends. You know, it cuts out more of the lows. This is just fine tuning with the EQ. And then this is adds a little bit of wideness to it, so you hear it in the left ear, right ear more. This just, you know, think of this as an EQ, just doing like little slight adjustments to it. And yeah, a lot of people say CLA vocals is a meme. It's a good plugin. It's good to use. You just got to know how to use it. One thing that I'll tell you that a lot of people don't tell you about the CLA vocal plugin is when you're mixing and you use this, you'll hear hissing. When you export your song, you're not going to hear the hissing in the song. You're only going to hear the hissing in the project. So you probably don't even hear it right now unless you have good headphones. But let me show you. When I open up this in my master, you'll see right here that there's some hissing right here.
And I have this on all my tracks. So if I turn on this one and this one, the hissing is bigger. So one way to get rid of the hissing and you don't want to hear it while you're engineering is add an NS1 or a noise gate under your CLA vocals. So you see that hissing right there? I'm gonna turn on noise, NS1, boom, it's gone like that. It's set at 0. I could just move it slightly up and it'll just get rid of the hissing. But you can move it to a separate track so it doesn't affect your vocals. You could sidechain it and then turn it all the way up and get rid of that hissing. But you could use noise gates, all kinds of stuff. You don't have to use noise suppression, but that's just how you get rid of the hissing so you don't hear it in the project. Right now you can't hear it, but if I turn on all these, you might be able to slightly hear it. If I turn this all the way up, you'll hear it, I think, a little more. But yeah, if it bothers you, just go ahead and, you know, add a noise gate on it or a noise suppression. But me, it's whatever. It don't really bother me because I mainly hear the song. But yeah, that's how I go about mastering, and that's how I got this sound.
Like to get to know you, so what can I do? Tryna slide, yeah, come and pick you up in my coupe. Got a lot of friends, but they nothing like you. You the fresh news, and I need an issue, huh? Yeah, I need an issue. What I gotta do, I'm tryna impress you, yeah, think I'm losing my cool. I gotta hold myself back before I act.
And I've seen that there's some bass tones in it, so that's where this EQ comes from. There's still a little more bass, and I just like to add this on here. So the old recording,
Like to get to know you, so what can I do?
I add this in here just to add, you know, a little bit more.
Like to get to know you, so what can I do? Tryna slide, yeah, come and pick you up in my coupe. Got a lot of friends, but they nothing like you. You the fresh news, and I need an issue.
And a lot of you guys seen I had MV2 on the whole time I was showing you guys. I always have MV2 on. At the bottom, I always have it on by default. But what MV2 does, I have it set at 15. You can have it at 6. Sweet spot is 6 to 15. I never go higher than, I'll start it at 6 and bring it down. But most of the time, I'll leave it at 15. And if you don't know what MV2 does, it listens to your vocals. So you record a track, right? You have parts where you're talking quietly like this, and then you have parts where you're talking loud like this. The compressor will try to fit them closer together, right? So they sound on the same level. But what this does is it takes the quietest parts of your vocal and it listens to them. And this high level, you boost it up, and it's going to take the quietest part of your vocal and bring it up and match it to the other things. So your vocals are consistent. So your vocals sound fuller. So it don't sound on and off. It sounds like it's hitting on one thing. I never mess with the lows because you don't want to boost the lows when you're recording. We don't need low levels up. We cut them out because we don't want them to collide with the bass. So I never touch the lows. And yeah, that's the vocal chain. It's the same for the ad-libs. The ad-libs are exactly the same. They just don't have deep breath. And all I did was, instead of this Pro Q on it, all I did was I added, you know, this little radio effect. So that way it can, you know, have a muffled sound. So let me show you. This is the CLA on the ad-libs, and then it's the CLA on the main vocal. So let me show you this real quick. Oh, I was blocking it, but yeah, this is the vocal chain on the delay. And then let me show you the vocal chain, the main vocal chain right here. But yeah, this is the vocal chain on the delay. And yeah, so the delay and the ad-libs, you can see they're exactly the same. All I did for the ad-libs was I turned the wideness all the way up so that they, you know, they sit behind you. It's all the way far in the back. It's wide. It's all the way to the left, all the way to the right. Because it just, you know, I do that with all my ad-libs. So look, you can hear it without. And then with it on, it sounds further back. I drowned it in reverb. These are the same reverb settings. I just turned the mix up so it's drowned more. So it sounds more in the back. Then I added delay. These are the delay settings. They're the same. I just turn up the delay a lot more. So you hear this. So yeah.
To get to know you, so what can I do? Tryna slide, yeah, come and pick you up in my coupe. Got a lot of friends, but they nothing like you. You the fresh news, and I need an issue, huh? Yeah, I need an issue. What I gotta do, I'm tryna impress you, yeah, think I'm losing my cool. I gotta hold my...
So yeah, these ad-libs were on breathing right here. These ones... These ad-libs are the same as 3. All I did was just turn off the delay. I can delete it, but I didn't want the ad libs because with the delay, it just sounds so bad. Look, the ad libs are so close apart. These ones are far, so they have room for each other, but I just didn't want that. So yeah, and that's pretty much how I do it. These you can tweak around. You could make it blend to the song. You know, reverb for reverbs on the main vocals. I usually leave this 12 to 15. If you want to drown it, you could play around with it. But yeah, that's how I do everything. That's how I do everything. This whole song will be dropping this Friday. If you want to check it out, it's going to be called Reverse. It's going to be on all platforms. Pre-save link is in the description below. Appreciate it if you guys, learn something. You want to help me back by streaming my music. Appreciate you guys. And if you guys have any questions, drop them down in the comments below. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. Hope you guys learned something. You guys know the technique of how I record. You guys know the technique of how I mix. That's going to wrap it up. My name's Virtual Beats. I hope you're having a good night or day. And I'm signing out the simulation.